Lesson 7, Part 2. In transit mix concrete, all of the raw ingredients are loaded directly into the truck mixer. No plant mixer is involved, and some or all of the mixing water is usually introduced at the plant. The mixer drum is rotated at charging speed during loading. And how does cement come out of the track? The concrete mixing transport track maintains the material's liquid state through agitation or turning of the drum until delivery. The interior of the drum on a concrete mixing truck is fitted with a spiral blade. In a rotational direction, the concrete is pushed deeper into the drum. And what is transit mixed concrete? Transit mixed concrete materials are batched at a central plant and are completely mixed in the truck in transit. Transit mixing keeps the water separate from the cement and aggregates and allows the concrete to be mixed immediately before placement at the construction site. And how does cement come out? We already know. And how long is a ready-mix truck? What is the benefit of using an in-transit concrete mixer rather than a cement mixer? Advantages. The biggest advantages of transit mixers is that these don't allow segregation of concrete because of continuous rotation. Unloading of concrete batch can be done at will, full or partially. And is a cement mixer worth it? A strong concrete mix will be made up of on cement, on water, 3 sand, and 3 aggregate. At this stage, what you mix, it doesn't really matter, as long as you get your rotation right. However, for larger projects, it will be worth considering hiring a concrete mixer, as it can save you both time and effort. And very important question, how long can concrete be kept in the truck and remain in the delivery truck before it's no good? The recommended time from when concrete is batched until it's considered no good is 2 hours. When the temperature is between 60 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, if the temperature is lower, it may take a little longer for the concrete to begin accelerated hardening. And how much does a full track of cement cost? With concrete delivery and pouring, most pay from $190 to $147 per cubic yard, depending on the PSI. of the cement. A full 10-yard truckload with delivery cost approximately $1,200, which is enough to pour a 20 by 24 driveway. Getting less than a full truckload or short load or weekend delivery will add to your final cost. And handling and placing. Efficient use of reinforced concrete depends upon a rapid turnaround of track mixers and proper facilities for rapid discharge and placing of concrete. With proper access and site facilities, the modern truck mixers can position it and discharge the full load in 15 to 30 minutes. They represent a potential delivery rate of nearly 30 cubic meter per hour. The concrete arrives with the ordered workability and hence no extra water should be added at the site. Concrete that doesn't arrive within the tolerance limit of ordered workability may be registered or, if permitted, it can be altered by mixing a small dose of admixture after judging the condition of concrete. Ready-mixed concrete is often remixed once it arrives at the job site to ensure that the proper slump is obtained. However, concrete that has been remixed tends to set more rapidly than concrete mixed only once. The builder often handles the concrete with only a few manual labor. Continuous handling methods such as mobile pump and conveyor system help in increasing the turnover. It's best to discharge the concrete from the truck mixture as close as possible to the place where it's required. Concrete can be discharged directly from the truck through chutes, or it can be pumped by static or mobile pump at the construction pouring point. Concrete arrives with the ordered specification. Don't add water at the site. And modern truck mixers can discharge the full load in 15-30 minutes. That's very fast, and this is a good advantage. Concrete can be discharged directly from the truck through sheds that I already said. Very bad situation and big problem. This is improperly consolidated concrete. And what is consolidation of concrete? This is the process of reducing the volume of voids, air pocket, and entrapped air in a fresh cementation mixture, usually accomplished by inputting mechanical energy. And vibration causes the mixture to liquefy, reducing the internal friction of the mixed components of cement, aggregates, and water. This allows the mix to move around more easily in whatever form you are placing the concrete. And the vibrations help to bring those air bubbles to the surface where they escape. Consolidating and compacting freshly placed concrete with an internal vibrator is a fairly simple and straightforward process. However, because concrete manufacturers are continually spending unnecessary amount of time and money repairing defects, often associated with the improper use of internal vibrators. A majority of honey combine rock pockets, sand streaks, backholes, poor lines and voids can be avoided by taking the time to properly train and educate employees on the proper use of internal vibrators and the future problems that may arise from incorrect vibration practices. Freshly placed concrete can contain 5% from 5% to 20% entrapped air, ultimately reducing the concrete's density. Concrete with a high percentage of entrapped air will likely have a reduced strength and increased permeability, which will greatly reduce the durability of concrete product once in service. In general, the two most common mistakes made when using an internal vibrator are removing the vibrator head too quickly and dragging the vibrator head through the concrete. Both of these practices often seem like logical shortcuts to the untrained individual, while the trained individual will understand that simply leveling the concrete will not remove entrapped air voids, backholes, and honey combine. When training individuals on the proper use of internal vibrators, it's important to explain the basic principles of how an internal vibrator works. Providing production personnel with the proper vibration equipment and training should greatly reduce the amount of time and money spent filling in bookholes and patching combat areas. Concrete reinforcing. Concrete no useful tensile strength. And reinforcing steel tensile strength. Similar coefficient of thermal expansion, chemical compatibility, adhesion of concrete to steel. Theory of steel location include place reinforcing steel where the concrete is in tension. a little bit about reinforced concrete. Concrete has a relatively high compressive strength, but significantly lower tensile strength. As a result, without compensating, concrete would almost always fail from tensile stress, even when loaded in compression. Some designers specify concrete strengths of 5,000, 6,000 psi, or even higher in certain structural elements. Specified strengths in the range of 15,000 to 20,000 psi have been produced for lower floor columns in high-rise buildings. And how do you reinforce concrete? If you simply want your concrete to be more resistant to environmental factors like cold weather and water, then you may just want to change its mixture to make your concrete stronger. Otherwise, the best way to reinforce concrete is to install steel rebars or cheaper steel mesh before you pour the concrete. And you ask me, does rebar strengthen concrete? Strengthen concrete. Concrete is great and at putting up with stress in the form of compression. As a result, rebar inside of concrete both strengthens the resulting mixture by making its strength more all around and also decreases the speed at which failure occurs, giving engineers crucial time to spot a disaster before it happens. Concrete that carries heavy loads, such as footing, foundation, walls, and columns, almost always requires reinforcing steel. Not all concrete work requires reinforced sod. Concrete projects such as pathways, some driveways, and small shed or playhouse floors generally don't require any steel reinforcing. Reinforced concrete is extremely durable and requires little maintenance. It has good thermal mass and is inherently fire resistant. Rebar is generally made from 100% recycled scrap, and at the demolition stage, the concrete and rebar are capable of being separated so that the steel can be recycled. And can you pour concrete without rebar? Not all surfaces need concrete rebar reinforcement, but adding it makes concrete stronger and more resistant to large cracks. Without rebar reinforcement, concrete is highly prone to cracks due to tension forces. Rebar helps prevent cracks from growing wider largely by preventing cracked slabs from moving upwards. To construct an economic structural member, any material for reinforcement of concrete must fulfill certain requirements. To have tensile strength, to be easily bent to any required shape, its surface must be capable of provision an adequate bond between the concrete and the reinforcement to ensure that the required design tensile strength is obtained. To be available at a reasonable cost. The material that meets all the above requirements is steel in the form of bars and is supplied in two basic types, mild steel and high-yield steel. Hot-rolled steel bars have characteristic strengths of 250 newtons per square millimeter for mild steel and 416 newtons per square millimeters for high-yield steel. The range of nominal sizes available for bars is 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 20, 25, 32 and 40 millimeters, with length specified by the purchaser. This is a square twisted bars. This is a ribbed bar, plain round bar, and twisted ribbed bar. Reinforcement schedules and details. Reinforcement on detailed drawings is annotated by a coding system to simplify preparation and reading of the details. For example, 9H1201 300, which can be translated as 9. Total number of bars in the group. H. High-yield steel ribbed bar, 460 Newton per square millimeter. 12. Diameter in millimeter. 01. Bar mark number. 300. Spacing center to center. Typical reinforced concrete beam, details and schedule. Typical reinforced concrete beam, details and schedule. Once the engineer has determined the reinforcement required, detailed drawings can be prepared to give the contractor the information required to construct the structure. The drawings should give the following information: sufficient cross-reference to identify identifies the member in relationship to the wall structure. All the necessary dimensions for design and fabrication of formwork. all dimension. Details of reinforcement: size, type, bark marks, number of members, number in inch, total number, length of each bars, shape, and all dimensions are in accordance with BS. And minimum cover of concrete hour reinforcement. This is, yes. And of course, specified to nearest 25 millimeter. And of course, concrete grade require, if not already covered in the specification. Reinforced concrete details should be prepared so that there is a clear distinction between the lines representing the outline of the member and those representing the reinforcement. Bar of a common diameter and shape are normally grouped together with the same reference number when included in the same number. To simplify the reading of reinforced concrete details, it's common practice to show only one bar of each group in full, together with the last bar position.